I think if my grandmother was still around, I bet she would say she knew it was coming. 2008, I was working my butt off at 2 different jobs. I worked at the detox center 40 hours a week. That was from 3 to midnight, and then I worked at a treatment center from 8 to 12. You know, my options were limited in life. I couldn't afford much, but I could pay my basic bills, you know, but that was about it. So I had a good friend, super cool guy, he was a carpet cleaner, but one day he told me, he said, hey, I'm starting this new career selling roofs, you should join. And then about 60 to 90 days later, he came back over for dinner. It was the first time I had talked to him in a while. And he came over in a brand new truck, brand new watch, new clothes. I mean, he looked good, you know, he looked good. And I had completely forgot that he had started this career. So I asked him, what are you into? And he said, you know, I've been selling roofs. Once I saw my friend that was a carpet cleaner, who I knew the guy, you know, on a one-on-one level, he made it. I knew without a doubt I would make it. So instead of asking advice from my friends and family, I made a decision for myself. So my first year, you know, I started probably June or July or something like that in 2008, and I still made $60,000. You know, 15, 20,000 commission checks on one job, which was, you know, what I made prior in 1 year sometimes. I had always wanted to go on the road and do this job. You know, it was always interesting to me. I heard of people doing it, so I always wanted to do it, but I was always hesitant, you know, to go on the road. I was working for a company, and that's when I met my wife on the second year there. Eventually, one day, that's when I met Cody as well.
So when I was 18 years old, one of my buddies, Ricky, and he said, hey man, I've got this opportunity, you gotta come take a look at it. I liked what they were pursuing. I'd never seen anything, you know, at that time in my life, I hadn't seen people trying to go someplace or go in towards a direction. Ended up getting started in that industry, kind of kicked off, you know, my personal development and rubbing elbows with people that taught me really what business is truly about and what success looks like, taught me to serve others, taught me to build the culture and be a part of something bigger than me, and taught me to continually growing. And those skills, although I ended up leaving the industry, you know, a year and a half, 2 years later, those skills became insurmountable things for what we started doing here over at Able. My first day out there, I got 3 deals. And, you know, at the time, I think I was making, I don't know, in between 2 and 4, probably 2 and 3 grand a month back then. You know, to do 3 deals my first day, that was like, each deal was paying out between $300 and $400 a deal. So that was like, you know, $1,000 or a $1,200 day. So I was like, well, maybe it was beginner's luck. So I went the rest of the week, I got 15 deals my first week, won a spiff, and I was hooked. I was hooked because of the competitiveness, I was hooked because of the profit margins, I was hooked, you know, just based on the fact that I saw something in this industry and in this business model that I thought we could change. You know, when I came in, I didn't look at people and like, okay, this person's for sure, you know, successful. They all just kind of looked like regular people, but they were all making really good money. What I noticed was, you know, it's a cutthroat industry, there's no culture, there's really not a major sales structure, there's really not a lot of sales backing to it. So I was kind of faced with 2 options. One option is, you know, I can turn away from this and be like, this is obviously not where I want to be because this industry is not, you know, developed enough. Or I could look at it on a completely different note and say, holy cow, we can revolutionize the way this industry works. We can take this industry from where it currently is and propel it to where it really should be and become a staple inside of the industry.
Once I met Cody and once I saw the 3 of us and our potential, the different things that we bring to the table, I knew that it would take some time, just like anything in life. All great accomplishments, you know, are not overnight. You know, they definitely take time to build the foundation.
We had a small little team. I think we had 2 guys, and we were out in Tucson, Arizona. It was a fun time in a sense, looking back now, but during that time, I mean, it was grind time.
This is when things got exciting because now we could be intuitive and creative, and I knew we would have some issues, and we did, but the nice thing is that we had so much enthusiasm and so much energy that we overcame every single obstacle it was. And if the even more amazing thing was we learned from it and were able to develop even better ideas. So I saw the fusion between the 2 of us, and now we have a bunch of people coming that if we could create something amazing as far as the process, the procedure, the development plan. We made a commitment to ourselves and to the guys that work with us that we pay them on a weekly basis. That, you know, we're keeping our word. We have integrity with these guys.
We had almost immediately people popping huge checks. You know, brand new people that had no experience in the industry, no door-to-door experience, no real sales backing. We're making, you know, 10 grand a month, 20 grand a month. And that was kind of where the wildfire began to spread for this marketplace. So not only are people making money and going on company excursions, but also one of the big foundations for Able is to grow as people, to grow not only the culture and the company, but also to grow as individuals. I think that's really the key to success. And so we've really tried to breed that amongst the organization, and it's starting to show. People are really growing and becoming the people that you know, I know they can be, and we know they can be.
So here we are in Virginia. We've actually moved on to Maryland as well. We literally have the biggest team we've ever had. And what's so great is we get to take these guys and go do fun things. And while they're out doing fun things, you know, I can see everyone is just growing. They're growing personally. They're working so hard and they're doing such big things. Literally, I can see all of their future. You know, they're at a point where they're going to put in the work and they're doing everything they have to do to get to where they want to go.
You know, so now we have a development plan where we have lead setters, salesmen, or field trainers, assistant managers, sales managers, and to see the success rate as far as the retention, people's learning abilities, and at the end of the day, what is one of the most satisfying things to me is to see people making a lot of money, which is it makes me extremely not necessarily happy, but I experience a lot of joy when I see a guy make literally $5,000 in 1 week. You know, we've had some of our sales managers make $10,000 in a week. You know, now we have tangible proof that, you know, a lot of people here, the majority of people here, are making more money now with us than they did in any other company. So we've had, you know, 15, 20 different people say already, you know, I've never made this amount of money. Right now we're launched in 3, 4 different states. I think next year we should triple what we're at. We should be at 12 different states next year. And the exciting thing for us is, in order for us to be in 12 different states, we need help. You know, we need development, we need leaders. So each state that we have, or each state that we're launched in, means that we've developed another person to be in a position that he could have his own office and then grow, you know, and develop. It is one of the most satisfying things I've ever seen in my life, you know, for a guy to just bright up and call his parents and say, Mom, Dad, you'll never believe how much money I made. And that's all I think really that's happened. We've created a foundation and people come here and then they just do well. You know, so I don't know if we necessarily have any involvement with them on a daily basis. The system's there, you know, and they can just thrive.